Yeah, it's gonna actually look like we had a Zai in the mix as well. Unfortunately, that Zai not finding a whole lot of value coming through early on in the game. As team number 8 having won that fight are going to be able to start looting on up. But here is Matab, and like you said, a lot of players dropping in this specific location for some of those really juicy loot pathing, as Lil Sheep on that cicada looking for a couple of bow shots to chunk away the armor before coming in with that greatsword, looking to try and find a grapple lockdown. Justina going to use that free shell form to be able to disengage the team and maybe try and break away to find reinforcements. As a lot of these players with the insights now going to be looking for some of those skirmishes. Lil Sheep coming in with the vertical jump lockdown onto Koala will be able to take them down incredibly quickly. New rolling on up. Staff actually going to be clanked before it can hit into that gold focus. Lil Sheep charging it up, cancelling it out, having to be concerned as Big steps into that forward position to come in with that dagger before the staff can properly find any of its value from the length of those charges. Now going for that great sword Takeda ultimate activation, going to be knocking everybody back, so he's able to find the full connection off of the charge, and as a result so much damage is done. That's much having to use the F to be able to go aerial and break away from the threat coming on through, but he's going to go down regardless. Does manage to get parried, however. Lil Sheep taking the opportunity with the peel coming through from the teammates to be able to pick that greatsword back on up, and the fight is going to continue, this time onto Q&T's Koala, who was either coming back from Soul or picked up by their teammates off of the potential third party coming on through a little bit earlier.
Yeah, taking a look here, and Team 2 still just moving across. They do not have the opportunity to go pick up Flatulent. Flatulent does have a resurrection available to themselves, though, so it looks like Team 2 might reposition to cover that resurrection as we cut over here to Team 4 inside City of Tank, giving chase to Team 11. This Bane's Breath going to be Team 4's that early game Bane's Breath, the strategy we see DRG using inside the NBPL, and it looks to be paying off here for Team 4. They've already picked up 4 early game eliminations for themselves, so off to a great start. Hermine here looking to give chase. They have a bounty onto another player and do not want to give them the opportunity to get away, trying to utilize those grapples with the follow-up on the attacks there just to get as far as they can going vertical. Looks to be Mushroom, who is still the solo player left alive from Team 11 here, and Hermine continues to keep the chase going. Has not been able to spot them just yet, is going to turn their attention over to do a little bit of looting here. Doesn't want to give up that opportunity to get some of those resources under their belt just yet, but they are slowly getting further and further away from their bounty here, and it looks like Team 11's Mushroom going to be heading up towards Plumed Castle, potentially trying to lure that team in. Team 7 here on the other side inside Yueshan Ruins looking to turn onto Team 1, who just respawned on the top side here, and Team 7 more than happy to take them down while they have almost nothing in their back pocket. They were able to get a couple of purple weapons there, but everybody's still on that white armor trying to move away. As DK here trying to get grappled down, as we see Lemon here pushing up. We will see the Viper ult being invested here. The Viper V2 coming through, and Lemon says the heck with that. They're going to use the ult to get away. The Tessa charm on the follow-up, though. They're not going to be able to find the full reset, but Adewale more than happy to follow that immediately up, as Reverb getting caught out here, going to use that Yodo F2 just to try to capitalize here. Another potential Viper ult coming out, this time from team number 7. A Tessa ult invested yet again here. Team 7 will lose Adderwalder, but unfortunately no place to go as they're going to get charmed up. Lemon now just completely caught out, is going to get picked up and eliminated as Team 1 against all odds actually comes out on top of this fight, Moxie.
Testra's just not a fun team to try and rubber band back in on, because you have to remember that she can cast her ultimate at 55%. So if you try and rubber band back in as a Wuchen team onto that Tessa team after she's used that ultimate, she's going to have a second to throw out if the fight goes on a little bit too long, and they lost that Yodo incredibly early on before the ultimate was able to try and create any sort of value or force the other team to use that Wuchen teleport of their own. As heading over towards Imperial, we're actually going to be seeing one of our Transformer teams going head-to-head. 8 and 12. Tryhard taking a lot of damage up into the uppercut, into grapple extension, into follow-up focus. Tryhard goes down to the wombo combo, and APF is on absolute fire.
Yeah, Team 11 here, back at it again already with 6 eliminations under their belt as we get ready to head into that first Realm of Yang. Zone 1 is collapsing on to zone number 2. Still 36 players left remaining in the lobby. We're going to see these early stage resurrections head out here very soon as Team 12 just moving across here, looking to move further into the zone, do a little bit of shopping as we keep the early game aggression going. They want to capitalize on all of those Darktide coins they've been able to put together with those early eliminations. Cutting across to Team 6 now, going head to head here with Team number 9, Koala, looking to get some of those scale rushes, but is going to get caught out from behind as Team 10 comes in for the third party. That Dragon's Rush going to do so much damage to Koala as it knocks them over the edge here. Kishi forced to go ahead and mech up here just to stay alive as Team 10 starts to come in with a huge cleanup here. Team 6, Koala, trying to break away, going to get caught out again, going to be forced to use the Justina dash just to get away to look for the reset. Casper will go down as we see Team number 9 re-engaging onto this. Koala will break away. Kishi is gone as well, and it is just Koala remaining here for Team number 6. Team 9 now trying to come in and capitalize on this situation to clean up the members of Team number 10. Yan Li going to take a lot of damage. We are going to see the ultimate invested. Zai coming in with the ultimate as well will catch out 2 members from Team number 10. Going to try to find it yet again. They need a couple of hits here. This is crucial though. They do not have that damage reduction on ultimate like many of the others, but they are able to turn back around and get some of the healing off of the ultimate, looking for that opportunity to throw out that blue one more time with the full charge. There it is. They catch out Xiao into it. Xiao going to take a lot of damage, but the Takeda ult going to buy them a little bit of freedom as the Zai finally goes down. Massive damage coming in from Yan Li there on that purple fan to clean it up. And this is one of the disadvantages of playing Zai here into trios. There are so many players who are able to come in and hit you even while you're locked up in that gold focus. You have no damage reduction in that ultimate, and you take so much damage.
That's why they have the Kurumi. Unfortunately, the Kurumi had gone down when the Zai used the ultimate, but I'm actually such a huge fan of the composition that they're rocking because they have the Wu Chen to be able to disengage, but they have the Kurumi with that F3 to be able to give and provide that damage reduction that, like you said, you don't get. It's not like something like the ACOS where you're able to utilize your F1 to be able to take advantage of that damage reduction buff. Zai is a sitting duck if you're able to break away from the light targets coming through from that ultimate and just chunk her down from afar, and especially brutal if you get third partied because then multiple teams are chipping away and it doesn't so much become a chip as an absolute smashing of that health bar within seconds. No worry about third party, however, as we head into the first realm of Yang. Team 12 going to be going up against Team number 5, Sansiphon. Miss you on that Takeda. Going to be coming in, Mythic Grab connecting, follow-up Pole Sword Swing. This is an incredibly low Takeda on the other side, and Cat goes down. Missy is now going to be free to be able to throw those shelves in whenever they want, doesn't have to worry about keeping the other Takeda in check. Pushes onto the zip, forcing that ultimate out incredibly early, and now the shoves are being used to lock the zip down into that position so they can pop that V2 burst as soon as possible and look for the kill confirmation as Missy with the horizontal and continuing to hound this zip down with the charged R to keep themselves directly behind her footsteps is going to pick up a very fast and clean fight win. It's always going to be a tough uphill battle when the other team's Sansiphon Takeda is the first to go down because that Takeda a lot of the time is the one that the other Takeda has to use the majority of their ultimate to keep in check. The second that Takeda falls out early, you can get so much more aggressive with those shots.
Yeah, I mean, this was so well played by Miss You. Not only is he able to catch Cat out in the air with a massive hit from the pole sword, as he's falling, he pops the F1, and the Cat on the other side must be thinking in his head, okay, he was airborne, he just hit me, surely he doesn't have enough time to pop that F before he touches the ground. So as soon as he comes down, Cat releases a blue onto him, and sure enough, that F1 immediately gets the grab into the flip there, doing a ton of damage on Cat. And while this is happening, the two teammates on Misu's side are dogging down the other two players so that they do not see that Cat has gone extremely low. So zipping Kun from the other team never pops that ultimate, never buys them the time to just get away. Back to Team 12 again, who just won that Realm of Yang, coming in here onto APF's team here, team number 12. And we're also going to see Team 1 here caught up in the mix, going to use that Wu channel to immediately get away, and Team 2 is more than happy to keep this chase going, even though they've burnt ultimates, because they have that resurrection available to themselves from the Vermilion Bird's Might. They want to continue to press any advantage that they have. Unfortunately, it looks like they have lost track of both of these teams, and they miss out on a chance to capitalize on some eliminations while they have that buff. Turning back to team at number 5 here, that Yang depletion coming through. DCRKK already eliminated. Kun going extremely low here. Cat trying to get a grab out onto somebody, will get the elimination on the Mushroom, but can't push onto it because the other members of Team 11 and Team 4 just going to lock them up into the Sand Siphon. They will be eliminated, and of course they have that Yang depletion, so there's no turning back to get the resurrection. That is going to be it for that team. Such an unfortunate turn of events. They were able to get the elimination, Moxie, but could not get their hands onto that Soul Bloom.
Oh, you hate to see it, Rune, when you do so much, but that's the one, well, I say one, that's one of the major problems when you have that Yang depletion, right? You have to play a lot more aggressive, and even though you're able to find the kill, a lot of the time you have to place in such an aggressive position that even finding the kill still means that you lose overall. As heading over towards Lakes, we are going to see one of these teams already down one of those major players. Sand Siphon lacking that Z-ping is immediately going to be the get out signal for team number 10, as he's just trying to use the pulsed horizontal momentum off of these grapples to keep himself out from that fight as long as possible. They don't even have enough coins to be able to buy that zip back. It looks like it really has just been a call to get out and preserve the team to live to fight another day and potentially get to buy that zip back, as it's going to be all the way towards the outskirts of that zone. Soft stepping Geckofoot, this is something that you and I have had a little bit of a discussion about, whether or not that soft step and Geckofoot combination is actually a little bit of a nerf to soft step, given the fact that Geckofoot is one of those soldiers that not a lot of players, especially at this level, like to run with, because it really does mess with the timing on those scale rushes.
Well, the interesting thing about Geckofoot and why it's not utilized as much as well is just in terms of slotting it in as a 6 Soul Jade, right? There's so many other things you would rather have. I think with time, this is going to become a much more favored version of this particular Soul Jade, because players now will have the opportunity to get used to the movement with Geckofoot. The big problem is because so many players opt out of taking it because there's just better Soul Jades to run, that they aren't used to that movement yet. Now that it's combined with a Soul Jade that players would actually like to use, that soft step, and it has the potential to be upgraded as well, I think over time, as players adjust to that movement, they're going to be very happy to have it, especially here on a map like Holoroth, where there are so many of these rock faces, and that Geckofoot just makes it so much easier to transverse. It's going to be one of those Jades that time is going to tell, but I do think in time, it will be favored. Unfortunately for Yan Li here, there's nothing to be favored here. Yeah. They are being completely boxed in and gatekept by team number 8 here, and they know Yan Li is here. They are more than happy to keep it going. Unfortunately, they don't fan out. They stick together, and Yan Li sees an opening in a weakness in the wall, if you will, finds a way to slip through. Team 8 will see them, but Yan Li just going to try to keep it moving here, trying to keep Team 8 out of that grapple range. Team 8 also having taken a lot of tick damage there will eventually have to stop to look for the reset to get those heals off, so Yanni might survive. As we turn back to team number 2 here, turning heavily in onto team 4 here, we're going to see the Wisp come in. Flatulent trying to get the Sand Wisp out to keep them from taking the Realm of Yang. Not able to catch it, but they will head into the Realm of Yang, as it looks like team 2 is going to be going head to head with team 4, whether they like it or not. No potential for third party, but team 4 might be on the back foot.
All ultimates going to be available for team number 2. Don't know if they are, But team number 4, Henmei just charging up that pulse, looking to try and dunk someone down with the vertical drop. Flatulent, oh my goodness, that was almost such a huge Dragon Slice. He's still looking for it, as he's now going to run into Numza with that Takeda ultimate, making sure he's not able to find the lineup. Temi ultimate invested from both of these teams. Flatulent taking so much damage. It's actually going to be Sin who's dropping that Zip ultimate first. Flatulent still trying to find an opportunity and window to use this Dragon Slayer, but he keeps being shoved back by the Takeda on team number 4. Longshot now out for Heronry to be able to try and come in. Fletchman finally able to come in with a Dragon Slayer, but he's interrupted from the actual kill confirmation by the horizontal charge up from Team 4's Takeda, and he goes down. Team 2 now missing 2 of their players, since also going to finally lose their last. And what a peel! What a longsword interruption coming through to save them from that Nezhaz.
So we often talk about this, right? A lot of players, as soon as they pick up a spear, one of the reasons it's kind of unfavored is because you'll see players who often just end up crutching the Dragon Rush, right? It makes it very obvious what you're going for and what you're trying to do, but we see a clear example of why players do that, because of the amount of value you're able to get when you do finally land it. And that's exactly what we saw there at Team 2. We're finally able to put together a single Dragon's Rush into that Gold Nezha's Might and to come out on top because of it, even after losing 2 of their members there in the Realm of Yang. Casper here, the last remaining member for Team 6, going to get charmed here. No place to go, as the other team here, our lovely Team 1, just chases him down and puts an end to him here. Very unfortunate for Casper here, but Team 1 super happy about picking up their 4th elimination of the game. Scaling being a little rough here for team number 1, as they are still rocking 2 sets of blue armor, trying to head into this mid game and looking to make it to late game. We are zone 3 right now. 60 seconds till we start to clap us onto zone 4 as we cut back to Niu going head to head here with team number 8. A parry coming in there from B, but not going to follow up on it as the rest of the team looking to cover from B. Tap dodges away, takes a ton of damage though, gets put into the wall. B just looking to get a single pot off here so he can come back into the fight. That white armor not going to cut it though, as Tryhard coming in here with that huge pole sword, cuts him down to size. Coming in now, looking to clean up the remaining members of Niu. Catches Big off guard there, able to get double hits there. Big by himself in a 1v3 scenario. This is the nightmare. This is not where you want to be if you're the team looking to capitalize on these early games. And unfortunately, that's going to be it for Niu as Team 8 sends them back to the lobby.
Third parties coming in though. Team number 12 rolling on up. Tryhard actually getting his sprint banned out. Going to have to use that ultimate on that Tianhai to be able to survive. A lot of that pressure coming through. The Karumi had just used the ultimate as well, so they're not going to have it. Has to go for the Flamer to make sure that no one looks to chunk Tryhard's feet down. Teva going to be activated. That F3 coming in clutch. It does now heal as Ski just tap dodges with that Karumi to keep the Teva available and attached to Tryhard, who's been able to find a double grab. Elquin going incredibly low, gets reverb grabbed and slammed into the ground. 6 feet under do they go, and that Yuasian ultimate still going to be available as well for a couple more seconds. It's now dropped on out, and Team 8 have to worry about the fact that they're going to be vulnerable without both of those transformations available, but because he's been able to cycle back into that Karumi ultimate, they don't have to worry about trying to disengage or survive, and they've actually been able to lock a player down entirely into that Razor Swift. Out Miss You goes. Now it's just a numbers fight. They're going to be able to try and cut off that portal disengagement coming on through over towards Frozen, as we actually see Tryhard committing all the way through the portal to try and chase that player down and figure out where exactly they've run off to.
Yeah, this is absolutely huge. You know, we have not talked enough today about how massive that Karumi buff is. The ability to keep a monk player healed while you're giving them that damage reduction as well is just absolutely massive. Team 4 here though, turning on to the members of team number 2. Team 4 down to just Numza now and completely locked down in that stone form, and unfortunately it is stone form on the pole sword, so it is much less damage reduction coming through, and they're just able to chunk them down. But Team 2 is unaware of team number 8 coming back through the portal and going to come in onto the third party. Team 8 threatening the space, but not going to push onto Team 2 because crucially, they did just burn through all of their ultimates in that previous fight. They are down resources. They would much rather pick through these bodies and get some much needed resources and turn back away and get an opportunity to get those ultimates back online before they push and engage on a fight here. And again, that Kurumi tether coming in through that F3, just absolutely massive. There we go. They're going to pop the no ult zone as well, which will continue to buy them time to get those ultimates back up online. Team 8 knows exactly what they're doing as Team 7 turns in on to Team 1 here. Reverb going to get stunned out there by the short stun from Team 7's Quinling, but unfortunately it's not going to be enough. Quinling taking a ton of damage and just immediately gets blitzed through as the entire team turns onto them. DRX extremely low, will use the ult to pull them away and buy them just enough time to use that F to get some shield back on these players. Team 7's will get the resurrection onto Quinling, and Quinling will find a blue armor to swap into here, but the Tessa ultimate going to come through and connect onto 2 players from Team 7. Now we're going to see their Wu Chen ult invested as Team 10 comes in for the potential third party, and Team 1 sitting on the back foot here. No ultimates, no way to get away from this at all. If Team 10 keeps the pressure up, there's not going to be a place for Team 1 to go, and Team 1's only direction to run away is back into Team number 7. Team 7 here doesn't want anything to do with this fight. They know the third party's coming through, so they are going to just break away. Team 1 is able to create some space and hopefully pull that attention away from themselves onto Team number 7 so that they can get away here, and that's exactly what it looks like they've been able to do. Team 1 will live to fight another day, Moxie.
And that means that we'll see all of these teams go at it again in about a minute when all of those ultimates come back online. Reverb really wanted one of those players dead, was getting into position to be able to close up the distance and use the F3, but they're actually intercepted by the Wu Chen before they're able to find the hit, and as a result the team are able to fully teleport out and don't have to worry about spending too much time picking that body up off of the Ken. Now we're going to get to see the same fight take 2. The only difference is this time Team 8 are caught out right in the middle of it. This is where Tryhard's team had run away from when they did pop that no ult zone very smartly, because they saw both Team 1 and Team 8 rolling up in the distance and knew that they needed to make those two teams fight each other, allowing them the opportunity to disengage Boulder's ultimates back up so that when they do get pressured, not only are they going to have the full transformation sequence, they're going to be able to have just kill potential and also spacing threat too. Especially Tryhard, he knows how to play around things like the Viper ultimate. He's not going to panic and pop that ultimate too early, so he does get cancelled out of it, and as a result we're going to be seeing a lot of these teams having to be a lot more careful about how they try and approach these transformer teams. Sand Siphon doesn't really have to worry about that. Attack on Titan teams do, because the Viper ultimate in that charge up state can be interrupted by the grabs. If you're a Sand Siphon team and you're going up against transformers, there's a reason we're seeing the monks take a hit in this meta, and it's because even if you find the double grab, that zip v2 kicks in and saves absolutely everybody, so you don't find that same kill potential that you do when you're going up against something like that Attack on Titan team, where you're not only able to find the kills but also able to deny a lot of the win conditions in the form of those ultimate setups as well. So we have 15 players left in this lobby, everyone going to start to move forward and posture up for the spawning of the Morris Blessing. For some teams, especially if they're running the Takeda, it's all about being able to scale your V3 into that golden state. For these Transformer teams, it's going to be about scaling your TN height to have the most kill potential and also the healthiest amount of armor, with it scaling up off of the loot when you're in that ultimate activation. Team 2, 7 on that zip, playing a little bit more forward, because if they take a couple of hits too many, they're going to be able to fall back to the rest of the team with the help of that F1. Morris Blessing actually going to immediately come into control of team number 8. Team 10 a little bit caught out in the middle, not really wanting to make their presence known and push onto a team because they're going to get third-partied by the team directly behind them. And as a result, Team 8 are able to walk away with that Morris Blessing. It does look like someone has Flames Breath on the cannon or Fire Tick on the bow, because we are seeing that burning tick damage starting to attack some of these health bars. But Rune, this might be a slow one, as everyone's going to be playing a little bit more passively, a lot more defensively, wanting to hold on to these ultimates for as long as possible, only really applying a little bit of pressure, just enough to try and force some of these teams into parting with resources, so that when the zone properly collapses and it becomes that all-out slugfest, it's the ultimates and abilities you have to immediately pull out, rather than just disengaging and popping a Vitalia.
Well, crucially as well, take a look at this final zone. Look at how much cover there is. Regardless of where you are, this looks like a very open final zone, but we've seen time and time again these players very able to utilize even the most minimal of cover to escape from entire ultimates and teams, as well as to escape from monk grabs. You know, Tryhard's team is going to be 100% waiting for this zone to collapse as much as humanly possible before they try to invest those ultimates and get away here. We're going to see Team 7 here trying to turn on to another team here, but the Wu channel going to be invested to get them away, and Team 7 going to lose 2 of their players immediately here as yet another third party coming in. Team 2 trying to come in and clean it up, and they will find an elimination there. Unfortunately for team number 1, they're on the backside here, not in a strong position. Team 8 and Team 2 going to be sandwiched in between both of them. DRK trying to break away, trying to turn over onto team number 2. Unfortunately, team 2 still has all of their ultimates in the tank here. Massive chunks of damage coming out. Yogurt is going to be eliminated from a bow shot from downtown here from team number 10, and team 2 just in a horrible situation as they turn back. The rest of team 1 trying to come inside here, puts themselves in a box as team 10 just comes in and cleans them up and says, thanks for putting yourself in the kill box here. And things turn very rapidly, Moxie, as we were expecting this zone to go very slow. We go from 15 players to 7 players left remaining alive. Sheep caught on the outside here against team number 8, the last remaining player here, and team 8 would love to have this second set of legendary armor, so they're going to invest ultimates here because they want to put it onto their Yueshon as well. Sheep, no place to go, and sure enough, they're going to go down. A Dodo on the backside here, still in the ultimate, trying to use Yueshon to cover as we see Team 10 looking to come in. We're down to just 6 players left alive. This is the final fight, Moxie.
Dodo making that break over towards the body. Kurumi ultimate invested as Tryhard goes for the transformation. He's got 1. He's looking for that second. If he can find it, he's unfortunately not able to. His crazy is actually just tap dodging left to right every single time he throws out, and it does look like the play was able to wiggle out of Tryhard's hand. As a result, Smolch ultimate also going to be making it even harder for this monk to find value. He's got 1 in his hand yet again, but it's still being denied the second. The fan looking to try and scoop Yanli into closing distance for this Yueshon to be able to build up as much rage as possible to have that ultimate available. 5 players remaining, and it's going to be a Dodo now on the back foot. 99% to the ultimate, goes for the double jump to be able to hold on just long enough, but he goes down as the ultimate becomes available. Oh, what a turnaround.